Your Majesty at your service. Welcome to Fairy Queen Talks. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of my podcast, Raising Your Star. Welcome to the Raising Your Star episode of Fairy Queen Talks, featuring Faith Richards. Before we delve into the episode, I thought it was only right to introduce her. Faith Richards is a hybrid, dark indie yet soulful sound, cuts through radio noise anywhere, and takes the listener on a transparent journey of self-discovery. Having garnered over 11 million streams as a completely independent artist, Faith is definitely a force to be reckoned with. Faith's sound has evolved alongside her with influences everywhere from the 1960s soul and jazz to Amy Winehouse, Erykah Badu, Sabrina Claudio, and Banks. Faith's music has received recognition from media houses such as BBC, Netflix, Vogue, just to name a few. As Faith's fan base continues to grow globally, I thought it was the perfect time to speak to her on this episode, Raising Your Star. I think this is the perfect time to welcome Faith Richards to the podcast. Hi, Faith.
Hello.
How are you
Thank you for that.
doing? No
I'm
problem.
good. I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I am amazing. Thank you. Thank you for coming on today and be exposed to my listeners on this side of, the podcast world. So, could you just introduce yourself to everyone and also let us know what your thoughts are on the term rising star?
Yes, I think you did most of the introduction, but my name is Faith Richards. I'm an up and coming, as people say, R&B singer. I'm living in Paris, France right now. I just moved from Los Angeles, California last year, and yeah, I'm just doing the dang thing. About Rising Star. Um, what's interesting is I've probably used that phrase to describe myself, but when I actually think about it, I think I prefer like saying star on the rise because I am a
Mm,
star. I think like when you're pursuing anything, you kind of do have to have that ego or whatever you want to call it, that you are a star, that you have something special. And I'll always be on the rise. I don't think I'll ever like just set myself in the sky as like this specific star. I think I'll always be like chasing something. Um, so yeah, I think I prefer star on the rise or like star that's still rising. I don't know.
okay. Now
Yeah.
that's amazing. Star on the rise. I absolutely love that. And I definitely will use that as one of the quotes to promote this episode because, like you said, everyone, once you know you are a star, you're always on the rise. And I absolutely love how you phrase that. So, in
Oh.
terms of, no problem, in terms of finding your voice, what was your journey like and how did you say, okay, actually I do have a talent, I am a star, and how did you kind of you know put that further into actual work opposed to just singing at home?
Um, I grew up, definitely I've always realized I'm artsy and more like right brain. I grew up, I had like a little keyboard that had like light up keys, and I would just learn songs that way, and eventually started writing my own songs in like my early teens. They were really bad, but at least was being creative. And then it was in high school, I'd written this song, like really sad song, and did the talent show, and me and my pianist, we won. And
Wow.
then I did like a few church talent shows. Yeah, that was like my first probably real realization that, oh, okay, people see that this is more than just like a passion, like there's potential behind this. And then in college, I went to an acting college, and I had a couple teachers. Like I had a musical theater class and this improv class too that we would sometimes sing at the start of. Both of those teachers were like very, very encouraging of my music. And the musical theater one was like using me as an example in other classes. And then I had all these students come and talk to me and ask to hear me sing or ask about, yeah, what I had done in class. And I started doing little covers on SoundCloud and YouTube, and just the reaction off of that I want to say that you don't, it shouldn't be that you need the validation, but I was such a shy, like timid kid that I think the response of everybody when they would hear me sing is what made me realize probably
Yeah.
that I could actually make it into a career. And I love doing it too. So it just seemed like a no-brainer.
Oh, amazing. And having listened to your songs, I definitely love your actual voice, but also your message. And just because your branding or your voice is around transparency and journey of self-discovery, when did you learn what your message is through your voice? Because you obviously have a talent, beautiful, angelic voice, I would say, but you also have a true message underneath that. So could you describe that a bit more?
Yeah, I think I guess I don't necessarily know what made me this way. am just like pretty open and I'm very sensitive and very aware of all my feelings. And I know a lot of um, people specifically that maybe aren't creatives, it's more difficult to like express your feelings, but I know they relate to everything I'm
Mm.
going through because we all have the same human experiences, like just in a different way. We all experience loss and heartbreak and all those things. And I just feel like I've lived so many lives. I'm 26, but I feel like I've lived so many different lives and I've lived in a lot of houses, been religious, not religious, I've heartbreak, like trauma, all of that. Like I have a lot to say. And not only is it helping other people, but it's such a release for me too, to not have to have any secrets, to not hide anything. Um, it's like my therapy, as cliche as that is. I know all artists say that, but it's so true. And yeah, I want to heal people and I get to heal myself at the same time. So it's pretty awesome, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely with that, especially also like with Fairy Queen talks. It's very much also therapeutic for myself, because
Mhm.
I believe that everyone deserves a happy ending, no matter what your start in life was, and discovering what where you are in your life. So, no, thank you for sharing that. So, in terms of having a voice or talent is a very essential part of being a musical, performing, singing artist. However, to enter the music industry, there's so much more involved. So, with this in mind, what ignited your desire for working towards being an artist in this global market? And reflecting back from when you first started, did you truly understand what is involved in being an artist in this world?
Um, I think I did know it was going to be a lot of hard work. I I really like to keep myself pretty busy and not have to rely on people too much, which is something I do love about this industry. Although I do still need other people on my team, I'm able to do a lot by myself and keep myself busy that way. Um, but I don't know. I do strongly believe like hard work plus talent plus risk will equal reward if I just keep my mind on the prize. Of course, I had the dream that like I'd be discovered and become famous overnight and like someone will see my YouTube video. Like, yes, of course. Still dreaming that. But yeah, the more realistically, it's a lot of hard work. I don't know if I answered that whole question. Let me know if I missed part of that.
No, no, no. I think you answered that quite correctly because yes, you are dreaming and still, open to if anyone hears your voice to become this, overnight star. However, you're still working towards being an artist without this, label behind you and you're doing it independently. So it's absolutely amazing. And it actually leads me to my next question. So there is a quote that I absolutely love and live by, which says, "Luck happens when preparation meets opportunity." And when you were talking earlier about, preparing yourself to be an artist, this is very much what you're doing. You're doing everything right so that when someone does discover you, you already have a lot of work prepared and people can see your talent. So from my perspective, you've created your own opportunities to get to where you want to be in artistry. So why do you think it's important to create your own opportunities in the music industry in the current era of digitalization? And what opportunities are you preparing for now?
Um, Great question. I think yes, I love that quote too, and I think it's very important to be prepared. It's a little naive maybe to think all you have to do is just write a song and release it because it's a lot more that goes into it. Like you're a brand, you're an artist. Yeah, there's a lot of marketing and all that too. I think especially, yeah, this era that we're in with social media, it automatically presents so many opportunities. Um, I'm able, again, like I was saying before, to like stay busy with that, like trying out different things on TikTok, trying to see what works with Instagram. Also with emails, I have so many opportunities I can chase just by emailing people. Currently, I'm really trying to get a publisher or a manager or trying to get the funds for a marketing campaign for my next song. I think it's like time that I try to add people to my team, and it seems a little stressful financially, but I just know I'm praying on it, and I need someone else like backing me.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think you just in this industry, like you just have to keep moving or you'll feel stuck and discouraged. Like you can't let a little failure or like, numbers not doing how you wanted, like you can't let that trap you. Like you have to keep moving. Um, and just chase the next opportunity, release your next song, not get caught up too much in how it's doing, I guess, while still chasing opportunities. I don't know if this makes sense.
No,
It's like still do everything you're supposed to do, but if it doesn't get the results you want, like, oh well, like you released a song, you got the feelings out, like you probably did make a few fans that way, but just keep moving.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's, no, definitely. It's about keeping moving, and at the core of your singing is because you love it. And so it's
Mhm.
seeing people engage with your music is already the prize, but you're definitely trying to make it into a business. And with a lot of businesses, people start up individually, but then slowly grow their teams. And I suppose that's where you're at now to really create a living out of it and to add people into it because no one is able to create an empire for just themselves. You need to have a team, and that's what you're doing as part of your preparation. So that's a really good place to be in. So
Yes,
having,
exactly. Exactly.
yeah, so having said that, sorry to cut you off, what are some sacrifices that you've had to make then to evolve your artistry, and have the sacrifices been worth it?
Um, yes, they've all been worth it. I'd say like the main ones are definitely financially. I've invested so much money and I've worked a lot of jobs to be able to do that. Um, it is expensive when you start to want to like make your creative passion a career. Think about the marketing, how expensive it is to even create a song with like a mixer, a master, recording my vocals, a producer, um, music videos, cover art, like yeah, very expensive. So I've definitely invested a lot of money, but I've always seen the worth in that. You have to invest to make money. And then probably the other biggest one is being away from my family because I moved to Los Angeles when I was just like a week after I turned 18. And so I have been away from my family for 8 years actually. And they all live pretty close. So that's been kind of hard, like when I see them celebrating birthdays together and all that. But I
Mhm.
try to visit as often as I can. And I'm still very close to them. Like we still talk almost every day. Um, but that's definitely a sacrifice. And I try to avoid the guilt I feel around that. But I know ultimately I have this sounds really bad maybe, but it is my life. So I have to do things that'll fulfill me. And I know if I stay in like a small town in Texas or Kansas, I just will never feel fulfilled. It's not the right life for me. But it does suck being away from my family.
Yeah. No, and it's good that you can recognize that, but also on top of that is the recognition that if you want to evolve your artistry, like making sacrifices are just part of it. But like I always feel, sacrifices are, yes, they may feel hard, but we make sacrifices for a better result. And the better results you're already seeing and experiencing every single day. Even the fact that you live in Paris, I mean, that's amazing. I mean, there's a lot happening on social media about living in Paris right now, but just being in Europe from America is, I think it's an amazing thing. Even people who live here in Europe, I live in the UK, Paris is still a very much a landmark of a city, and being there, I mean, I can already think of all the food I can eat. So it's just amazing that you're able to
Yes.
do that, but also
Oh my God.
grow your music.
Yes, yes. I honestly love my life here. It's exactly what I needed to not completely exhaust myself in LA.
Mm.
This is like I have a way better balance, and I know there's always so much hate for Paris, but it's bizarre to me. It's like it is such an amazing city. People just are haters. I love
Oh, that's good. So my next question for you is, in your opinion, what has been your experience of raising and seeing your star being visible to a global audience? What's that been like for you?
it's been pretty mind-blowing a lot, to be honest. Like when I get certain messages, even a few days ago, like I got a message, just someone telling me he was in a dark place and he went through a really hard breakup and he'll listen to my album to kind of pull him out of it. Just when I get messages like that, I've also had people, I've had two people message me that they were suicidal and they would listen to
Mm,
my music. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like, even now, like I get emotional thinking about that. That's so crazy because I'm still up and coming, or I'm still a star on the rise type of thing. And I'm still having such an impact. And even if it's only a few people, oh my gosh, that's just like a crazy feeling. I can't believe me like coming from where I came from and just me releasing songs about my life is pulling people out of dark places. It's the biggest reward ever, honestly. That makes me feel successful
yeah.
for sure.
I I can hear that, and I can feel that through your voice right now. For personally myself, I don't drink coffee. But your song "My Caffeine" has been like my coffee for my mornings at work. Like the days where I really struggle to just be up, be present in that space, I would put your tune on and be like, we can do this. And then, it just put me in such a zone and really energized me for my day. And we all go through different stages of our lives, and your music speaks to different parts of people's lives. And my caffeine has been an amazing transformation for me. It's been my actual caffeine. It energized me. And just knowing that I know you from when you lived in the UK, but to see that your voice and your songs have such impact in my actual daily life, it's just been very interesting to see that something that you created maybe for a different purpose has got an impact of positivity for others. And especially when it comes to mental health and suicide, being able to help anyone through that, I think that's the major impact, because life is so precious, and maintaining and retaining people in this life while they still have that choice, I think that's so precious. So well done for having that impact, and
Mm.
just knowing that your music is so powerful in that way. So
Thank you. Thank you for that.
no, thank you. Thank you. So what's next for Faith Richards? What's next for your music? What should people be looking out for?
I have a few songs in the works. I wrote a lot of songs this summer when I was visiting LA. My next song is called Good Girl, and I'm so excited. It's really cool. I feel like this a lot about a lot of my songs, but I really feel like it could be the career launching one, which is why I'm trying to get a publisher behind it, or some money behind it. So that's it's already the cover art, the song. I'm just waiting till to upload it until I have some people on my side in the industry. that's what's next. I'm also really trying to get some like fashion collabs. I'm big on fashion,
Yep.
and I feel like the door is opening for me the bigger I'm getting. So I'm really hoping that'll be something this year or the start of next year that is coming for me. And I'm dreaming of doing Colors X Studio. So I feel like every step I'm taking is leading me there too. So that's what's next for me.
That's amazing. And we are all looking forward and congratulating you along the way. So we spoke a lot about you and your being a star on the rise. But for listeners who are working on developing and showcasing their talents to the world, what is one thing that you wish you learned early on your journey about being a star on the rise?
Um, Honestly, probably to not listen to people too much. Like take critique and advice with a grain of salt. Um, I think it's really important to just stay true to your voice, your power, your message, your purpose, your art. Like people maybe intentionally, maybe unintentionally will try to shape you into what they think will be popular or what they think is like popping right now. Just stay true to your authenticity or you'll lose your passion in your work. So that's probably a big thing because I've seen it a lot. People change their sound to what might be popular or what they think people want. But I
Hmm.
think you'll go the furthest just being who you are, trust in it.
Wow. So
Yeah.
stay authentic, be who you are, everyone. And she's in the game for a very long time. And I think that's a valuable lesson for everyone, and not just in the music industry, but generally in life. Thank you so much for sharing that because I think it'll be very useful for people who are listening because everyone is trying to, showcase their talents or their skills to the world. And that's something that is very important to keep in mind. So thank
Mhm.
you so much for giving your time. I know you have a busy schedule. Where can people find your music, find you, connect with you, and just yeah, let our listeners know where can they find you?
Yeah, on Instagram, it's I'm Faith Richards. I am Faith Richards. And my website is just faithrichards.com. You can find all the links to my music there. So on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, TikTok, all that. Find me.
Oh, that's amazing. So thank you so much for being on this episode, Raising Your Star. But most importantly, for everyone listening, remember that you are a star on the rise. So see you next time.
Bye. Thank you.
At the end of each episode, I address the Queendom. Although the episode is called Raising Your Star, Faith Richards reminded us all that we are all stars on the rise. No matter how bright your star is, remember that you can always seek and achieve new levels of success and happiness. It's all about moving up in life. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of my podcast, Fair Queen Talks. See you next time.